We're going to find lots of people who rediscover that golden, incredible spirit within. That clip's actually from a movie called Finding Joe. Of course, brings up the question, who's Joe? Well, it'd actually be Joe Campbell or Joseph Campbell. Now, Joseph actually studied myths for 4,000 years. Actually, he studied them for about 30 or 40 years, but ones that had dated back over 4,000 years. And what you actually saw there was the story inside every story that's ever been told that Campbell's now become famous for. He's a great scholar. And it's known as the hero's journey. Okay, and Campbell actually charted it, the hero's journey. And that's really what you just saw in that little clip. Is, as Campbell described, what he found in these myths dating over 4,000 years was that at the core of every single myth and at the core of every movie you've ever seen, from Gone with the Wind to Star Wars to Casablanca, When Harry Met Sally, The Matrix, Double Indemnity, the list goes on, to every book you've ever read, to every movie, script that's ever been written, to every Bible story, inside all of them is one story, and it's known as the hero's journey. And this is when our hero has a life that they know, okay, the known, and they get some kind of call to action. Just like these videos have been calling you to action, we call that the herald. And the herald calls the little hero, which you all are, we all are, to action, to step into the unknown. Now, this is, while it's great to talk about it in movies and Bible stories, the real story here is initiation, okay? And this is when you're called to start to think for yourself. And then you get down here to what's known as transformation. And this is when we transform from responding to what everybody else told us the world should be, and we start to think for ourselves, and this moves us into creation, where we actually become transparent to the transcendent, and the light of all that knowledge that you heard about in that little clip actually begins to shine through you. This is a wonderful, wonderful idea that we read about years ago, and we've seen it happen now for ourselves. I mean, look at this. And people all around us who took this little journey. Now, it's going to take some work. Why? Well, because for 20, 30, or 40 years or more, just like I was, we've all been led to believe that being normal means you got to be part of the majority. And there's the quotey little fingers my wife loves so much. But those lessons and those forcing us to be part of the majority, now everybody says, you can be whatever you want to be, but you better follow the rules or we'll kick you out. Well, that's the cement. So it's great to have this knowledge about the new blueprint, but it's very hard for us to break through, chip through that cement and find this wonder child within all of us. You see, the problem with the majority is it's geared towards what? Mediocrity, and it explains why so many of us live lives, as Thoreau pointed out accurately, of quiet desperation. Now, once you begin the work, however challenging it is, you'll come in contact with a power so remarkable, it will stun you. Just like you heard the guy talking about in that little clip, once you start chipping away at that cement won't satisfy you anymore, and you'll discover this power, a power which we all want, and it's always found, son of a gun, in the last place anyone would ever look, and that's within. What happens to most people here, if I get a better job, if I get the right girl, blah, 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 that'll change my life. Once you come down into here, into the hero's journey, you find out where that power really is. As a matter of fact, in the very first chapter, the very first week, when you're reading the Master Key System inside this Mastermind Alliance, Hanel explains. The world without is a reflection of the world within. What appears without is what has been found within. In the world within may be found infinite wisdom, infinite power, infinite supply of all that is necessary, simply waiting for unfoldment, development, and expression. If we recognize these potentialities in the world within, they will take form in the world without. Clearly, Hanel is correct when he says that, quote, unfortunately, few discover the world within. You are on the cusp of that discovery, and this is really a call to action to that remarkable spirit you were born with.